How's it going, everyone? Welcome to today's trading recap. It is the 20th of February, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, coming into the day, I had a bearish bias. The reason for that is because if you look at this is London session. Um, we can see that we ended up sweeping into this bearish 4-hour gap, or sorry, it's an hourly gap, and this created that wick above, right? And as you can see, what is this wick? This is London session high. So that created a sponsored high, right? And then what do we see after we swept into this wick? We had a large, very large displacement lower. That meant that London highs was protected. So I wasn't overly bullish for the day since we just displaced heavily bearish. We also, so one thing that I kind of wanted to note too was that we did end up sweeping to this 4-hour gap below right here. I kind of marked it out too. And while it wasn't really important, we did heavily displace lower. And then we ended up sweeping into this 15-minute intermediate low. So I kind of wanted to see, even though I was leaning more bearish and bullish, bearish than bullish, I wanted to see kind of like a resweep into one of these key levels. So like this 15-minute, right? And I'm gonna change this really quick. I wanted to see kind of like a resweep into this 15 and have something kind of like here and just continuing that trend lower. Regardless of whether or not we switch into this 15-minute, we could end up targeting this 15, but we wanted to see if price would still want to reject off of this 15 and then continue lower. So I kind of was more patient. But let's just get into market open. So market opens at 9:30, and then we shoot up, we sweep out 15, and then we actually end up continuing higher, like way higher. In the process, we also, one more thing to mention is that on the hourly, we did leave two bearish gaps right here. So we have a premium and then we have a discount. So I noticed that this is kind of a spoiler alert because I don't think we were there yet, but price ended up sweeping into the discount right here. So I actually noted that a lot of people took this 1-minute trade right here, where we ended up seeing a sweep with the inversion happening right here. Right, so the inversion was right here. And then we targeted like this unfilled 5 below, as you can see right here. I believe there's also a 15 that was coming up very soon. But unfilled 5 and then the 15-minute as well. I think that's what happened. Yeah. So people ended up taking this and actually winning. And we actually would have closed out right here because ES already took the 5-minute gap right here. It's actually this one right here. Ignore this 5-minute condition. So this would have been a good trade, but the only thing that kind of irked me about this wasn't the highest time frame. So if you look at here, this 4-minute, the manipulation leg that traded into the gap, right here, this inversion, I would have taken it here, and then most likely, more than likely, lost the probability because ES already took out this gap. We already formed that 15-minute. Our inversion, ES, more than likely already took it out. And then we continued higher from there. Sorry, it was a 5-minute. Yeah, 5-minute. Yeah, right here, right here. ES already took it out, so we don't need to necessarily take it out. And then we continued higher, and then we ended up sweeping out previous day highs, which was honestly an extreme bullish candle. Like this was like news equivalent, which I think it was something related to Trump. But then we heavily like displaced lower, and then we could have probably entered here, but I just didn't bother because we were just dropping back and forth. Just had like extremely ranging candles on the 1-minute. Like if you just look at this price action, it was just ranging a lot. And then I just didn't bother taking a trade because at this point in time my bias was uncertain and I didn't really know like what to expect, where to expect it at. So I didn't really take a trade. But yeah, overall today just no trade. It is what it is. But a lot of people took this 1 minute that I told you guys about right here towards this unfilled five down below. Um, and I think the reason was just because of conviction. Like we ended up sweeping to one. So like one, the hourly premium gap up here, and then London Highs was technically sponsored, so we didn't really need to take it. And this is supposed to be red, but you get the idea. London Highs was supposed to be sponsored, so we don't necessarily need to take it out yet. But this 15-minute gap fill, alternatively, I would have liked more of a sweep to like this 30-minute, just because it's more of a higher time frame narrative. And if we ended up sweeping down there, I would have been more comfortable taking longs. But initially, what happened was price at 9:30, we already swept out this 15-minute. So realistically, I might have just wanted to see another resweep and then continuation higher. Or if we wanted to, and I actually ended up swapping to being bullish right here just because of like this displacement, right? Look at this 15, right? We closed above it fully. Closed above this gap. We closed above this one. We closed above this one. So by this time, I was bullish. But do we have any entries? No. Price also waked up towards our buy side liquidity anyways. So there wasn't any opportunity. Even if we wanted to take longs, where would we go to? This is previous day highs. I mean, up here, yeah, valid. But realistically, there was no entry. Like 15-minute, was there anything on the 5? No. Look at this chop, right? This is all very chop. But yeah, so overall, just not really good price action. I wasn't really able to take any trades, and price action was just kind of weird today. It wasn't really manipulating how it should, or not to say that it should manipulate in a certain way, but it was just overall weird. Weird to have, and so yeah, that's it. Hope y'all have a good rest of your night.